Trump is off there in the darkness, brooding, angry, looking for scapegoats. That's why when like Brad Parscale is still tweeting, I tweeted at him that inevitably Trump is gonna sue him, right? Like he's gonna blame everybody, including his campaign managers. But anyway, he also blames Fox. In the same way that his base is chanting that they hate Fox, he has been talking endlessly about how angry he is at Fox, that only 9 hours a day is devoted to running a tongue softly along the bottom of his footwear. And so apparently, according to tweets I'm seeing, we don't have the elements for these, but John Santucci sent out two tweets saying, vibe in the president's inner circle this morning is a bit of a stalemate. Many discussions of what to do next, and they are splitting into two roads. One, what legal challenges are possible, and obviously there's not much there. Two, dusting off the plans for a Trump TV-like network should this end. And the second tweet says, on life after, anger at Fox Murdoch family cannot be understated. Should he lose, Trump wants to destroy Fox. Aides believe they can steal hosts Hannity and Carlson. Sources believe Trump will never admit he lost should we get there. Instead, stick with rigged, fraud, stolen. I think that's 100% right. But once again, it looks like he is looking to how he can monetize not just his base, but his fired up base that he will convince this thing was stolen from. And he needs an enemy for that. And the enemy looks like it's gonna be Fox News.
And I'm fine with that because it divides everyone that was in that coalition. Now, the scary thing is, so strategically, the MSNBCs of the world are gonna think it's a good strategy to scoop up all the folks that didn't, make their way into the promised land of Trump TV. And that's one discussion. I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. I don't see why Trump wouldn't both advocate for legal challenges, because that would help him keep the White House. And in the meantime, talk about Trump TV. I think the most likely scenario is Trump makes a hard play for a massive ownership stake in OANN and licenses his name onto the network, rebranding it as the Trump's American Network, because that's his move anyway with every building you see.
Do you know what the acronym for that would be?
TRAN.
I was gonna say TAN, but yeah, anyway.
TAN, Trump American Network.
That's pretty good, come on.
Oh my God, TAN,
fake TAN news.
Let's write it. TANN.
Anyway, so that's not a bad idea and a lot easier than setting up your own thing, especially if you want it to be TV, assuming OANN's on TV in some places, right? I think it is. I believe it is.
There is no way of knowing it, John, not to out both of us on here, but like if you look at the lower thirds that are on OANN, they look like John and I photoshopped them, like not knowing how to Photoshop.
Yeah,
really.
That's funny because we definitely could Photoshop better than that almost instantly. It would not take. Those are so bad. It's like. Was that like a Video Hive template pack they bought in 2004? Why do they look so bad?
Well, John, I'll tell you why they look so bad. This is really inside, but there's like actual services that you can get. They have, people type in real time like what they want the lower thirds to say, and it goes on camera.
Yeah.
Like. This, what John and I have done, I assume for you, because I've seen it on this channel on YouTube, it's like your old stuff. And then the way that TYT worked when we first went to TY quarantined or whatever it is, TYT'd, that was me photoshopping and saving the lower third files in real time, and they would change at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Like that's what would happen, and that's what it looks like they're doing. Like it's one dude at his like workstation, and that's it.
Yeah. Just like, dude, look into Photoshop layer styles. Use a gradient. Use a drop shadow. And for the love of God, this is why news networks don't use orange generally. It looks god awful. But anyway, maybe once it's the TAN network, they'll shift the colors very slightly. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.